I received a voicemail from myself, and it was a warning.
Found a voicemail on my phone with no number, no sender, and one instruction: play this alone. The voice in the message was mine. It knew things I don't remember doing. It warned me about missing memories, altered decisions, and people who were slowly rewriting who I am. This story dives into the terrifying idea of losing control over your own mind, where memories disappear, identities shift, and the truth only reveals itself when it's already too late. Inspired by psychological thrillers, mystery, and real-life fears about memory manipulation and identity loss. The voicemail appeared on my phone with no sender, no number, no explanation. Just one line under it: play this alone. I shouldn't have listened. Every instinct told me to delete it, pretend I never saw it. But curiosity has a way of sounding smarter than fear. I locked the door, turned the volume down, and pressed play. At first there was only breathing. Slow, controlled, too close to the microphone. Then a voice I hadn't heard since childhood. My own. "I know you don't remember this," the voice said, "but you asked me to record it. If you're hearing this, it means something went wrong." My stomach twisted. I had never recorded a message like that. At least, I didn't think I had. The voice continued. "You're not paranoid, you're not imagining things, and you're not safe." I pulled the phone away from my ear, staring at it like it had just confessed to a crime. My reflection in the black screen looked pale, unfamiliar. For a moment, I wondered if this was some elaborate prank. But the voice knew things no prank ever could. It mentioned the scar behind my left ear, the phrase my mother used to calm me down as a kid, the name of the friend who vanished and was never reported missing. Details only I should know. "You made them angry," the voice said. "Not because you were special, because you were careless." A memory flickered. A locked folder on my old computer. Files I didn't remember creating. Emails I never sent. I always blamed stress, burnout, too many late nights. The voicemail wasn't finished. They're rewriting you, slowly. Memories first, then habits, then decisions. If you notice gaps, that means it's already started. My chest tightened. I thought about the things I couldn't remember clearly. Conversations people swore we had. Places I didn't recall visiting, but somehow knew my way around. The voice lowered, almost whispering. "You told me to remind you of one thing, the test." My hand went cold. "The mirror test," the voice said. "If you don't recognize yourself immediately, don't trust what comes next." The voicemail ended. Silence filled the room, heavy and loud. I stood up and walked to the bathroom, heart hammering. I stared into the mirror. For a second, just a second, I felt nothing. No recognition, no connection. Then the familiarity rushed back so suddenly, it made me dizzy, shaky, and relieved, telling myself I was overreacting. That's when my phone buzzed again. A new voicemail. Same unknown sender. I didn't touch it. Instead, I checked my call history. Dozens of outgoing calls I didn't remember making. All to the same number, all unanswered. I copied the number and searched it. No results. I typed it into my phone and stared at the screen, my thumb hovering over the call button. Something deep inside me screamed not to do it. That this was exactly what they wanted. I called anyway. It rang once. Then someone picked up. No greeting, no breathing, just silence. Then a calm voice spoke. "You're progressing faster than expected." My mouth went dry. "Who is this?" "A correction," the voice replied. "You were never supposed to notice." Images flooded my mind. White rooms, bright lights, questions asked again and again until the answers changed, until I changed. "You volunteered," the voice continued. "You wanted to forget. You wanted to be better." "That's not true," I said, but the words felt weak. The voice paused. "Isn't it?" The call ended. My phone vibrated violently, notifications stacking one after another. Calendar reminders I die. Didn't create. Notes written in my handwriting, warning me about people I spoke to daily, about places I went regularly. One note stood out. "If you're reading this and it feels unfamiliar, they've already adjusted you." I backed away, knocking into the wall. Another notification appeared. A video file. The thumbnail showed me sitting in a chair, looking directly at the camera. Alive, calm, smiling. I pressed play. "I'm sorry," the version of me on the screen said. I really thought this time it would hold.
He leaned closer to the camera. But if you're watching this, you're almost gone. The video cut off. That's when I heard the knock on the door. Slow, polite, like they knew I was expecting them. I received a voicemail from myself, and it was a warning. I found a voicemail on my phone with no number, no sender, and one instruction. Play this alone. The voice in the message was mine. It knew things I don't remember doing. It warned me about missing memories, altered decisions, and people who were slowly rewriting who I am. This story dives into the terrifying idea of losing control over your own mind, where memories disappear, identities shift, and the truth only reveals itself when it's already too late. Inspired by psychological thrillers, mystery, and real-life fears about memory manipulation and identity loss. The knock came again. Calm, patient. Not the knock of someone in a hurry. The knock of someone who knew there was nowhere left to run. I backed away from the door, my phone trembling in my hand. My reflection in the dark screen looked wrong. Too still, too detached. Like I was already watching myself from the outside. Another knock. "We just want to talk," a voice said through the door. Friendly, practiced. The kind of voice people trusted without realizing why. I didn't answer. Instead, I opened the video file again. The one with me sitting in the chair, smiling like none of this mattered. I watched closely this time. Not just the words, but the details. The room behind him was white, featureless, no windows, no shadows, a place designed for forgetting. "You figured out more than we expected," the version of me said. "That's why they're coming early." "Who are they?" I whispered, though the video couldn't hear me. "You know them as helpers, researchers, fixers," he continued. "People who clean up minds the way others clean crime scenes." The knock turned into a slow pressure against the door. Not forceful, testing. "I volunteered because I was tired," the video me said softly. "Tired of fear, of guilt, of remembering things that wouldn't let me sleep." Memories stabbed through my head, faces I avoided thinking about, decisions I regretted, moments I wished I could erase. "I thought if I let them edit me, I'd be free," he said. I was wrong. A sharp pain bloomed behind my eyes. Images flashed. Me signing papers, nodding as someone explained the process. How memories would be softened, then replaced. How personality was just a pattern that could be adjusted. "They don't erase you all at once," the video me warned. "They overlap you, version by version, until you stop noticing which one is real." The door handle moved, slowly, deliberately. I grabbed the flash drive I hadn't remembered owning until tonight. Plugged it into the laptop. Hundreds of files appeared. Logs, recordings, timestamps. Versions of me labeled like software updates. Version 3, compliant. Version 5, resistant. Version 7, unstable. I was version 9. Footsteps shifted outside the door. "You still have one chance," the video me said. "The reason I left these files, the reason I warned you, they can't overwrite you if you're actively choosing." The door unlocked. They didn't break in. They walked in like they belonged there. Two people in plain clothes, no weapons, calm smiles, eyes that scanned everything without stopping. "Hello," one of them said. "You look confused. That's normal." "I'm not going with you," I said, though my voice shook. "You already did," the other replied, gently. "Several times." They stepped closer. The room felt smaller, heavier. "You're exhausted," the first one said. "We can make it quiet again." I thought of the mirror test, of that moment when I didn't recognize myself. I made my choice. I slammed the laptop shut, yanked out the flash drive, and snapped it in half. Both of them froze. For the first time, their smiles cracked. "What did you do?" one asked. "Chose," I said. The pain was immediate, white hot, like my mind was tearing itself apart. Memories collided, real and fake, past and present, versions fighting for control. I screamed, and then, silence. I woke up in a hospital bed. A doctor smiled down at me. "You had a breakdown," she said kindly, "but you're safe now." I nodded slowly. Everything felt simple, light, too light. Weeks. Life returned to normal. No strange calls, no missing memories. No reflections that lingered too long. It worked, I thought. Until one night, I found a note on my nightstand, written in my handwriting. If this feels peaceful, it means they won. My heart dropped. I looked at my reflection in the dark window. The man staring back smiled. I didn't. And that's when I understood the truth. They didn't lose. They just made a quieter version of me.